Hey Stargazers, Stargirl here, and growing old is inevitable. We're all eventually gonna grow old and perish. That was a bit rough. As we get older, our perception of time sort of changes. You tell a 6-year-old, hey, you're in timeout, wait 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes feel like forever. But as you get older, 5 minutes don't really feel as long as they used to. And when you get older, it feels like time moves in general really fast. It's like the Flash is holding a clock that represents the world, the time of our world, and it's just spinning around the globe, the earth, super fast. That's kind of how it feels like when you get older. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, let's slow down, let's smell the roses, and let's really appreciate these small moments, aka the milestones, graduating, getting your first car, your sweet 16, your quince or bat or bar mitzvah, your first job, getting accepted into a university, getting married, being legal, being able to drink. These are all milestones within our life that we choose to step back and to celebrate. There's one milestone in particular that I really feel like gets overlooked in my personal opinion. That is getting your driver's license. Now, in TV shows, you will often see like the teen character, and that ends up being a bit of a story for maybe like an episode where they're learning how to drive and they're pretty bad at it, and then maybe at the end they get a license. But I feel like in real life, it's not as celebrated as I feel like it really should be. I mean, now you're taking the time to learn to operate a machine while everybody else on the road already knows how to operate this machine. And now there's intersections, there's the blinkers, the brake, the accelerator, the Prindle. The Prindle.
Would you like am or food?
I can put that. And I just feel like this is something that we should really slow down and really examine, because I got my license only a couple months ago at the age of 21. If you live in a place where public transit is a lot better, you may be less inclined to really get a driver's license. But where I am from, you don't have one, you're stranded. You're not going anywhere unless you want to spend like money on Lyfts and Ubers, which is fine. But eventually those costs can really add up as opposed to having a car, which is more of a fixed cost of transportation. Needless to say that learning to drive, the process of getting your license is a unique experience. So unique that I actually wrote a script about it in my a pilot script about it in my screenwriting class. It's a very unique experience that I feel like it just doesn't get talked about as much anymore. It kind of just comes and goes. Yeah. First things first, when you're 15 or 16, you can usually start doing driver's ed in high school, at least where I am from. I decided not really to do driver's ed while in high school because I really just wanted to focus on my grades, which led me into being 21 years old and needing to learn. Did get my permit at some point, but I didn't get my license yet. So I didn't know how to drive. Got signed up for those. You ever know those driving classes, those driving schools where you can actually drive in it's usually a really small car. You drive around the whatever place you are from, and there's a driving teacher right next to you teaching you how to do all these things, and then eventually you can also learn to drive on the highway and stuff. That's what I did. I did that for, I think, like 6 weeks. I would do it every single Saturday, and it was new. It was new. It's definitely new having to, I knew a couple things. I knew about the blinker, I knew about the brake and accelerator. I knew one of the things would turn on the windshield wipers, and I knew a couple things here and there, but I never actually took the time to really learn how to actually be in the car in a intersection in the actual streets with other cars around me, and how to actually put all that knowledge to use. So being part of this driving school was really important because that's where I learned all that stuff. And in this driving school, you would learn for that period of time, however long. I had like 6 weeks and I learned it. And after those 6 weeks, they will take you to do your driver's license. So that's exactly what I did. I think I even pushed it back 1 more week because I thought maybe I needed more practice. And that time came finally, and I passed. I passed my first try. I was extremely nervous. I remember getting into the car, you know, we're doing all the checks where you have to honk your horn, you have to turn on your blinker to make sure the lights are working, all that type of stuff. And we finally get into the car. I'm driving and I'm using my blinkers, I'm turning, I'm doing the what do you call it, the 3-point turn. And I was really scared to do, I don't know what you call it, but you basically have to drive really fast, and when the instructor says stop, you have to stop. I was really nervous about doing that because the time I had practiced with my instructor, I pressed really hard. It's either I pressed really hard or I stopped really slowly. And I was really nervous to do it because I didn't know which way it was gonna really go. And by all the grace of all things holy, I didn't do that. I didn't do that on my exam. I think because there was puddles, there was water or something. There's something going on with that. And because of that, I didn't have to do it. Probably would have lost more points, but I ended up losing some points anyway. But this was a really big accomplishment for me because you know, like I said, I live in a place where public transit is maybe not the best. So you really just either go by Uber or Lyft, or you have somebody else in your family or friends take you somewhere. But being able to get my license is a really big deal. Before I actually got the license, you know, during my driving school thing, I was incessantly on YouTube watching driving tricks, tips, advice, anything that I could consume so I can learn or make sure to apply when I'm actually driving. That's how I also stumbled upon watching YouTube compilations of car crashes. Like, I think on YouTube it's called Idiots in Cars, which is a bit much if you ask me. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, it made me feel better about myself, honestly. I'm like, okay, at least I don't have to be that bad, you know. At least I'm not that bad. I'm at least aware. I think, you know, I'm sure there are different consequences, but it made me really like take a step back and think, okay, I have to make sure I don't do this, or I'm aware here, or thinking about turns and stuff like that. So I think even though watching those compilations comes from a kind of sick curiosity, I think it also helped in a sense get a better understanding of what goes on actual roads. So even though I now have my license, I don't have a car. My dream car has changed over the years. At first, when I was in elementary school, a friend of mine, she got picked up by her mother in a Jeep Wrangler, and it was with the windows down and everything, and just that, I don't know, the exoskeleton, I guess. The exoskeleton, as if it's like a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. And I thought that was so cool, and for the longest, ever since then, that was always my dream car. But then that changed to a Kia Soul. If you don't know, the Kia boys were like these people that were solely breaking into Kias. I guess it's just easier with a specific type of model. It made me stop wanting to have a Kia Soul, and I don't even want a Kia. So even though I have a dream car, I don't have a car right now. I would very much like to, because when it comes to driving, when it comes to getting your license, you get a new sense of freedom, a new sense of independence. It's another part of you growing into the person that you can be, or you want to be. You can now travel anywhere you want to. You're on your own time. You can create a schedule. If you have hobbies, you can get a job. I mean, you can get a job without car, but you can actually drive to the job without waiting on somebody else or getting an Uber or a Lyft. If I want to go ice skating, I could just check the time and be like, oh, I want to go at this time. Then I could just drive myself there. Like, that's crazy. Having that much freedom of being able to go anywhere at any time is such an incredible thing. It's incredible, but also scary at the same time, because now you're really going, and now the world really is yours, because you can be anywhere and you can go anywhere. It's really all up to you. And I think that's why it should be definitely celebrated a little bit more, because it is a step into your independence. It is a step into becoming more of an adult, I guess you can say. So yeah, that's really it for this video. It's really short compared to my other two videos, but I feel like other ones on my channel are way too long, especially with the fact that I'm still a very small channel. Like, who's watching this? I think it's better if I stick to shorter content at this time. Comment down below any of your experiences with learning how to drive, getting your license, maybe a friend's experience, anything that will help somebody who maybe has to do their test the next day feel comfortable or more relatable. And if you are doing your driver's license test soon. Good luck to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Please share with a friend. My Instagram is in the description below, and that should really be it. I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now.